throughout the game, played it patiently down in bottom lane as well. And like Drasko mentioned early on, if EG didn't really get anything out of it, it was so easy for Mouse to capitalize. I mean, if they could find a Nightmare and then a follow-up stun with the Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage, it was like a really easy kill. And they managed to find Bambo once, I believe, as well, when they had a Sentry Ward, once Fear, of course, left, just because he managed to get first blood, but he still managed to get a counter kill. So just overall, really great play by Mouse, and like you said, a bit lucky by Fada. I mean, I believe he actually got like 7 or 8 haste runes.
It was ridiculous.
Which is quite nice on a hero like Batrider, especially when you have it before your 4-step, because you can just pull them so far away. I mean, it wasn't all because of that, but it kind of helps because you can't stop him from taking anyone out of the fight. It's like you need the lift, and if the Rubik isn't close enough, that hero is dead for sure.
Yes. And this puts EG in a very interesting position, being so dominant in Group B, winning 2-0 against everyone they face. Now they're just one game away from being so close to getting to the finals, but now they're almost so far.
Yeah.
Do you think the pressure will impact James?
No, I think EG can come back 2 games in a row. It's definitely possible. Even though Mousesports have a 1-0 lead, EG, you can see what they want to do and how they execute their team fights. They are very good at it. Of course, Fata was really the playmaker. Like, Cinderin played great. He did. But it was all about Fata. It was like these picks and Fata locking people down was just huge. And Cinderin was always in the right place at the right time, and throwing out the Laguna Blade instantly does really help because you want to get those kills quickly. But overall, if Fata didn't create as much room as he did with the kind of room control and everything he had, that bottom lane Black wouldn't have got enough. The Lone Druid, Koikva. That's what I said, guys.
No,
Jesus,
no.
why you just repeat me? Okay.
You forget the second tier.
Carrots in here. Seriously, it's ridiculous. Yeah, he wouldn't have had an easy time as well in terms of on his off lane, even though he didn't have a great time. He got first blooded, but just generally Fata. That Batrider was just the playmaker, and it shut EG down in a big way. And when you can shut a team like that down, and your supports are almost the same level as a Night Stalker, you're not scared of a Night Stalker. And then if you're not scared of him, you don't have to worry about Jo on his Life Stealer. So very good from Mousesports. So we're going into game number 2 soon.
I believe both teams are actually ready.
Yeah, I think we should start.
Okay.
Both teams are ready. So
Let me just do a double check here. Bam. Got it out. See if both teams are good to go. I think they would want to get this over with. It's been a long day. I mean, it's
get it over with.
Get it over with. Well, I mean, it is really scary if you're EG because you would rather know the outcome than not know the outcome.
Well, no, it's also they're in the mindset to play, and even going to a break now, if they're both ready, we're... oh, yeah, by the way, Fear even says, nice haste rune hack ready. And tell that to Dendy, says Blank. So a little bit of friendly banter going on here.
Yeah, they're just kind of doing a little bit of friendly flaming.
But both teams are lock and loaded in terms of wanting to play.
Yeah.
So let's get them into the game and let them do what they do best, which is Dota 2. So here we go. Game 2 between Mousesports and Evil Geniuses. Mousesports need to win just this one, and they become one of the final 3 teams in the International West qualifiers. If EG lose this, potentially I would say the favourites could be getting knocked out. But are they a team that can make a comeback? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. EG... Again, I talked about their ability to play from behind. Last game, you mentioned their hero choices definitely put them in a worse spot. And I agree, 100%. It was very difficult for them to use that lineup, especially with a Night Stalker, because Night Stalker is like one of the most momentum-based heroes you can possibly pick. And Demon 0-7-3, not really a fantastic game.
He had momentum, just in the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the reverse snowball. But this game, Mouse, if they have a pocket strategy, if they have something they're really confident they can win with...
Put it out now.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, definitely. The game, in my opinion, even if they both play to the same skill level as they did last game, will be very even.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a lot more of an even game. A 9-minute blink on Batrider played by Fata last game. That hurts.
Yeah.
You do not expect to be going up against that. So we'll see. We'll see what they both got in store for us. EG are going to ban out the Nature's Prophet. Mousesports removing the Wisp.
This is interesting to me because EG are first pick, and EG, in my opinion, abuse Nature's Prophet probably better than any other team so far, at least in terms of the qualifications. So I'm not really sure about that one particularly. Maybe that just says that they want to play more 5-man Dota. They're actually going to ban out the Lone Druid as well.
I think they'll go for Lifestealer again if EG are first pick.
Well, it depends. If Mouse want to ban out the Bat Rider here, then sure, they would definitely go for it. But do Mouse want to take out something like the Nyx instead, or maybe leave themselves another option? So if they do end up first picking that Lifestealer, they'll be able to deal with it. And then you also have to worry about the Bane. I mean, let's be honest. Mousesports had like 4 or 5 different heroes. Their whole team basically was good against a Lifestealer.
Yeah, it was very impressive as well, because we spoke to some people over Skype through the duration of the tournament, and people had to say Lifestealer is the best carry. So it's really nice to see teams actually coming up with lineups that give Lifestealer a pretty hard time. But we do have Nyx Assassin available to be picked for Evil Geniuses. They've played a great Nyx. Fear's been playing it mostly for the team, but they are going to go for Lifestealer. They're like, right, this time round.
Well, it makes a lot more
work.
sense.
Yeah.
You see the Lone Druid ban, you see the Bat Rider ban. Those are 2 heroes that Mouse actually had last game.
Yep.
That makes his life bad. Just bad, bad, bad. Not good for Jo at all. So now they're going to feel a bit more confident in picking him up, even if Mouse wants to go for the Bane, which is really, I mean, the obvious choice.
They might
Whenever
go
you're
for Nyx here as well.
Yeah, they could. They could even go for something like a Darkseer if they want. It really depends on what kind of style they're going to be going for. So they already have one hero who deals with the Lifestealer. Oh, and there's another, the Clockwork. It seems like every time we see a Lifestealer first pick, the next 2 picks coming out from the opposition, how badly can we screw this hero over?
Yeah, and you've got to remember, Mousesports are one of the best teams at playing Lifestealer. They use it so well, but they do like to combo a Lifestealer and also have a Lone Druid in their lineup, so that wasn't available. But the fact is Mousesports are surely now putting down some knowledge and some research and some thought into their picks to actually counter that Lifestealer. But EG can go many places from this. Lifestealer generally still always comes out solid in terms of what it can do in terms of farm and what it offers into team fights during the game. Magnus for Evil Geniuses and a Gyrocopter. 3 big hitters, 3 big influencing heroes picked up EG very early on.
Well, this is like the end-all, be-all team fight composition coming out from EG, and it makes a lot more sense now that they banned out the Nature's Prophet, because he's a hero who in some cases can abuse the fact that you really only want to play 5-man Dota. So things coming together here for EG in their first 3. There's only one downside to this, is you know exactly what they're doing. Like, pretty much there's nothing else that they could be doing unless, for some reason, they decide to send Mag to, like, the offlane or something crazy,
Yeah.
but...
So, offensive tri-lane, Magnus middle, Gyrocopter safe lane.
Yeah.
We doubt we'd ever see that Gyrocopter played support, but it has happened. But I'm with you on this. So Mousesports have a nice way to kind of think about how they could use their Clockwork and Bane. Clockwork's great sometimes on the tri-lane, but probably not now because Keeper of the Light's going to be there. But yeah, and they'll be happy getting lots of levels, and they have 2 good mech carriers as well, Mousesports on the Clockwork and the Keeper of the Light, so it will be interesting to see what items they go for here. But the first 3 are finished. We're going into the bans. Where do both teams stand for you?
Well, EG, they're lacking supports, obviously. Maybe they're going to be looking to take something like a Shadow Demon if they can. I doubt they'll ban it themselves, because they're the first pick, actually, out of the second ban phase, and that's a fantastic hero, especially when you think about a Shadow Demon against Mouse. Say, for instance, your Lifestealer gets stuck in cogs or he gets gripped. You don't even have to disrupt anyone else but him. You can just save him straight away, so it's always going to be a phenomenal pick if you can get your hands on it. But EG, they know that Mouse don't actually have a mid right now. They're probably going to remove all the initiators, all the heroes that make Mag's life miserable. They already have one hero, which is Clockwork, who might be able to find him. But I don't think EG are too concerned about that, just because if you're going on the Mag, you're not going on the Lifestealer, and Mouse do ban out the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, very predictable bans from Mousesports, but rightfully so, just because EG have shown a lot of their cards. So Nyx Assassin and Shadow Demon both banned out. Those 2 supports would be a nightmare to play against. Very strong. And EG actually, the Puck and also the Slark. Slark, a little bit worried about what that hero can do in terms of the amount of map it can control and cover in a short period of time, the amount of wards it's going to spot. So nice ban out, and they actually removed the Anti-Mage. I'm kind of surprised by that ban, actually. We haven't seen Mousesports play Anti-Mage in a long, long time. I'm actually expecting Mousesports to go for potentially a PL.
Well, the PL... yeah, the PL or the Alchemist are probably the 2 go-tos on the side of Mouse, and if you really want to seal it, give Black PL. I mean, that's one of the best things you can do. But then you look at EG and you're like, Flat Cannon with Empower, Call Down, they have a significant portion of AoE. It's not like that PL is going to just have a grand old time even in the late game just because of how scary EG's team fight looks right now. But the AM ban for me, that's more about Mouse can delay the game for a very long time with these heroes, especially if EG are feeling like they're lacking initiation potential, which right now they only have one initiator, and that's going to be the Magnus, who's going to get a Blink Dagger at some stage. So I don't think that ban is amazing, but I don't think it's bad either. I just think they don't want it to get to that part where you're like, well, now we have to deal with a Keeper of the Light who can defend in a very safe spot, and an AM that's going to require like 3 heroes to kill.
Well, they banned out Jakiro Mouse Sports. What does that hint to you towards what carry they want to go for?
Well, they're banning out everything that could potentially partner with the Lifestealer. We talked about the Shadow Demon and his defensive capabilities, but the Jakiro, it's just another hero who has a long-range disable to stop Bane's ulti. I mean, just being able to Ice Path in a fight to save that hero is going to be awesome, and then, of course, you can abuse Macro Pyre if the call down slow actually lands, but EG, they're going to get their Rubik, and being able to steal things like Cog, Fiend's Grip is really easy to steal. It's going to be a fun game for Fear.
Yep, so that Rubik picked up, and last game he did a decent performance on a Rubik on a team that's behind. It's very hard to play a Rubik when you're behind just because how mobile and squishy you are, but he actually did manage to get a Blink Dagger. Stole a level 3 cooldown, but wasn't enough, and Mousesports are going to pick up the Templar Assassin for their mid-hero, and they've still got their carry to pick up here. Over to Evil Genius's last hero pickup.
This is an interesting choice for me. Now, we expect the Magnus to be mid. No real doubt about that. But what EG could potentially do is still sack the offlane, put the Gyrocopter mid, jungle the Lifestealer, and still farm the Magnus. Sure, it would be awkward, but we know that Gyrocopter does really good against TA. Not saying they will, just saying it's a possibility. It could be something to throw Mouse for a loop enough to maybe get some kind of advantage during the laning phase. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're just going to stick with something really common, maybe go for a secondary support here. It's going to be Shrek, so a hero who, to me, says maybe they're thinking that Mouse is going to be running a defensive lane, but we also got to see the Alchemist and the PL there being shown in the mini-map, and I'm kind of on the same page. I think that could be the choice, but EG is still a lot of AoE.
Yeah, I think that the Shrek as well is maybe put down a little bit towards that there could be a PL coming. Still wouldn't be surprised, but Alchel PL is still my favourites of choice. Alchemist in a lane with Bane is a fantastic lane to play. Just being able to set up for the unstable concoctions with the Nightmare and the Bane, it's huge. Also Clockwork, if he does manage to rotate in the fights, it also helps tremendously. But Mousesports are really now thinking, like, which hero do we want? And are they going to throw a curveball? I don't think so.
It's a dangerous position to do something like that. I mean, if it's a good pick that fits the lineup, then sure. I still think PL is probably the easiest choice. But we see the heroes like Keeper of the Light, the Bane, the Clockwork. It really seems to me like that Clockwork's just going to be the dedicated offlaner, just flat out, and he's not going to be able to really get a whole lot accomplished. So EG for me right now, in terms of the picks, I have to give them an edge, just because I haven't seen what Mousesports carry is going to be. And unless they go for something like really devastating. And it's actually going to be a Luna, so
did not think that was going to be the choice. That, to me, doesn't feel like it fits into how they are going to need to fight against EG.
The Luna is a pick that has to be in the fray. It's a hero who has to be in the middle of the team fight, and that's what a hero like Magnus wants. He wants you to be in close proximity to the Lifestealer or the Gyrocopter to be able to land a nice RP. So I'm with you. I feel like this pick, it says one of two things. They want to either push a fast tower, but during the late game, a Luna is actually ridiculously strong. Like, let's not take anything away from that. When she gets the Satanic, the Butterfly, that stage of the game, her carry potential is insane.
But at the same time, Fata really drops off late game on a TA. I mean, it
depends on their start.
Great, but yeah. I just felt like an Alchemist, even if it was to go to rush a Shadowblade, could have cost EG a lot in terms of having to have sentries, and also if you get to initiate how you want with an Alchemist, could have been great. But also the PL, you can fight without even being in the fight.
Yeah.
So I feel like with you, that Magnus against the Luna is going to be pretty easy in terms of, I'm not too scared for EG in terms of these big team fights. I'm a lot more worried for how Mousesports are going to do, because it feels to me they're going to rely heavily on how much farm are we getting on black, how's the mid doing, and it's a higher risk game that that Mousesports, I believe, have brought here just off their lineup. So let's go over the lineup that the two teams are going to be playing here. We've got Fear. I'm going to be playing the Rubik for EG. Already picked up an early smoke. On the gyrocopter is going to be Jo going towards the bottom lane. Demon playing the Magnus, going mid. Bambo playing that Lifestealer, looking to go off lane, maybe even make something happen with a smoke here on mid. And Beediz already got his split earth out. Could be doing something mid as well for a first blood kill, but either way they're just hanging around here. And that's the team of EG, so over to Mousesports.
As Cinderin, he's going to be playing on that Keeper of the Light. We're going to have Quakefa solo offlaning here as that Clockwork. Going mid, it's going to be Fata playing on that Templar Assassin. Pos hanging around in the woods here, up with his friend Black, going to be playing on that Bane. And then finally, as we just previously mentioned, Black going to be playing on the Luna.
So Fata hasn't put a skill point in Refraction or Meld yet. Bambo's actually picked up a haste. Fear and Beediz maybe looking to just back off, but we're seeing, no, they're going to smoke, and this is where, is Fata going to put a point into Refraction? Because if he does, he's dead. And it looks like he's going to die.
Yeah, I think he might be dead pretty much no matter
There's
what.
no sentries here. So.
Yeah. This is really unfortunate for Fata. He probably even sees the haste and he goes, you know what, I probably deserve this for how many haste runes I got last game, but it's going to be first blood, and it's going to go to Demon, so Demon, he gets his bottle straight away, and this is probably just as bad of a start, honestly, as you could ask for if you're Mouse.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy with that EG, and they didn't bring a sentry, but of course Refraction is where you want to start off normally, just managing to get the kills. Cinderen's actually going to head into mid. It's just going to hand over some sentry wards. And EG off to a fantastic start.
I'll tell you who's not having a fantastic time is Bambo, because he didn't buy a Stout Shield, and he's trying to jungle right now, and he doesn't have Feast either, so he's sitting here, he's like, guys, I'm having a bit of a hard time because I went to go get First Blood, which the First Blood was fantastic, don't get me wrong, like getting that kill.
Like, are these neutrals bullying you?
He's helping him out.
And
this
then
is necessary. He should just get out of experience range so poor Bambo can hit level 2, but he didn't because he's a mean guy and he's going to leech the experience for himself. So he's actually going to need help jungling here, and they are going to end up stacking the offlane. I actually thought about the idea that they could do that and they could just farm on one of their other heroes, but instead of being the mag farming in that position, it's just going to be, of course, that gyrocopter.
Yeah, it's a good choice as well to at least have the Lifestealer in the jungle because it is safe and he should be able to get the farm, but without Feast and a Stout Shield, he is just soaking up some of EG's experience that the supports could be getting. And this also plays into Mouse's favor, as you mentioned. Mouse might be looking to get an early push going. Luna is a great hero to push with. So this tier 1 tower top already, as we saw last game, could be taking a bit of a beating.
There's going to be a TP up here. It's going to be Fear, but I mean, he's level 2. Fade Bolt stops the push just by virtue of pulling the creep wave off the tower, and that's actually a pretty nice move, just pulling the creep wave off, preventing damage output for at least a little while. The tower is still going to take a pretty reasonable chunk of damage here, just because Illuminate spam, of course, and we talked about that Lunar Blessing being really nice for being able to just apply pressure in general. So, Fear, he's going to get some solo EXP, he's going to get a little bit of gold, but I think Mouse are still going to be able to get this tower.
Yeah, they should be able to. And, I mean, they've taken full advantage of this, but nicely done by Fear. He's going to delay another creep wave as he's able to send out one more Fade Bolt and pick up some well-needed gold and also experience. So he's actually quite happy with the situation because they're not going to be able to dive him just yet at this low level. So 1-0 in favor of EG. The Gyrocopter Jo, currently the top farmer, 19 and 7. On the off lane, Boisvert going to have to throw up cogs as he's going to escape Beediz. No split earth will come, but he's going to take on a rocket for his troubles. And we see a smoke rotation from Paz and Cinderin, looking to see if they can, I would say best Demon, but I actually think they're waiting potentially. I would like to see them actually try and do something to Fear on the Rubik when Black actually pushes this wave, but I feel the smoke might have been used a little bit too early here.
It's a nice move, though,
Bambo is
because
on his way over. Hey, Bambo.
Yeah, Bambo's going to reveal the smoke for sure. He's going to spot out Pos and be like, oh, there's people here. So the plan for Mouse has been foiled, but it was a nice setup. They did a single pull in the top lane, and they got the double range creep, of course, just to be able to push the tower a little bit harder. And now they have a catapult, too.
They still might go for this.
It's a bit risky, though. I mean, it would be a 3 versus 2 under a tier 1, and you have to expect that somebody else on the side of EG could potentially teleport in. So it's a risky proposition to try to go for this, but they do have a huge creep wave, so they might try to apply some pressure to the tower here. Fata picks up a DD in the meantime, and the rest of Mouse are starting to loop around, but I don't know if this is actually going to work out for them.
Well, Bambo's very weak right now, and there's only one Tango left on Fear. So if Bambo stays around, he's just going to have to potentially rage and run. He does have Feast and 1 point into Open Wounds, but yeah, you're right. Mouse Sports do deem it to be a little bit too scary and aggressive, and they are just going to take the tower.
Oh, Qualifier and Bottom Woods down here getting caught out by EG. The Edict's going to be there along with the Rocket Barrage, and that is a ton of sustained damage output. So Qualifier getting caught out a little bit on his own. Hopefully Mouse can make up for this by trying to get to Tier 1 because Fear is actually the only person in top lane right now. And he's playing it as safely as you could ask him to. Honestly, the fact that he hasn't just gotten dove and killed is nothing short of a miracle. And a lot of that, of course, is attributed to Bambo making that really awkward transition top.
Yeah, just by turning up and being Bambo, you foiled people's plans unexpectedly. He's like the worst but best secret agent if he ever was one. But either way, Fear. Level 4, still doing a great job in terms of just pulling the creep wave and keeping that tower alive as long as possible. And the XP is actually going in favor because of this, in EG's favor. There's also 2 kills as well to mention, but EG look very comfortable in terms of what they're getting on all lanes.
They're getting a huge gold advantage on top of everything else. I mean, it's 5 minutes in without a single tower. They're sitting at almost a 2,000 gold lead, well, actually above 1,500 right now, but just getting something like that, like you mentioned, Fear being able to sit in that lane unobstructed, this is a situation that Mouse has to compensate for by mid-game. They need to abuse the fact that they're going to have initiation from Quakefa. They're going to have a TA who, his start hasn't been amazing, but he's still managing to get the best of Demon in this middle lane who's playing on the Magnus. So even though he died, he's starting to recover.
Yeah, but Quakefa as well, on that Clockwork, not having the best game. Already died once in jungle, as we saw, but even staying on this lane is going to be pretty painful up against Jo, a level 6 Gyrocopter. Only 1 point in Flat Cannon, which is just 3 attacks, but still, he can only really just absorb some XP and maybe get some gold when it's closer to his tower. So, not having the best time on the Clockwork, and I really feel that Mouse need to make something happen, at least on the top lane. But if they try now, the whole of EG... I say whole. 3 members of EG, but Magnus is very big. Okay, so
he is big.
That counts for 2, and he's got RP, so counts for 3 now. Yeah, they're ready to make something happen. And Black, if he pushes down with this wave, well, it doesn't matter because they already spot out Demon here. And mid, they're going to put Bambo.
I'm a little bit confused, actually, as to why Demon showed himself there.
Yeah, me too.
They might have been able to catch him. Granted, it would have been really greedy for Black to go in there and try to get a tower hit or two, but sometimes when you don't see anything like that, you actually feel safe because you're sitting in your safe lane, you've got a couple of supports nearby. The thing about Luna is her health is non-existent in the early game. I mean, she has 660 HP. Not really the tankiest hero, and that's with 3 Ironwood branches. So if they wanted to go for him, they definitely could. But Demon, his rotation actually going to be foiled. He goes back to middle lane, and Fata, he smells something as afoot here.
Yeah, Fata's doing pretty well as, also. He actually picked up a double damage not long ago, and that really did help out his situation with the last hits. But of course, TA versus Magnus mid has been doing great. Just being able to get easy last hits with the refraction and also negate some of that shockwave damage. So, Mouse Sports Synderen, just also mid, putting up some sentries. We're going to have the next rune spawn on 8 minutes. And you can see Mouse Sports, they've got Fala top, Synderen and also Quakefa bottom, looking to pick up this rune. And it's going to be regen, and B-Diz is going to deny it. How annoying.
A little annoying, sure, and Jo, he's actually getting closer to level 8, and he's been completely unobstructed in this lane so far. 58 last hits at 8 minutes in, so his farm completely out of control right now, and this is an ideal start for EG. They've had no pressure being dealt to him at all, even though Bambo had a Bambo start. I mean, let's be honest, it was a little bit less than optimal. It doesn't really matter because no one's doing anything to him either, and now he's level 6. So if he needs health, he can just infest if he really, really wants to, but I don't even think he'll even need to at this stage because now that he's 6, he's got the 2 points in a feast. He can just jungle indefinitely, and EG have no issue taking this to the late game.
Yeah, they're happy just farming. You can tell as well, they're not looking for kills. They just want to get the gold and the experience that's available to them, and it's very easily available. Even on the side of Mouse Sports, you have to think, Fata, he's not always safe middle. Like, he really is like, I don't see people, I have to back off. And also, Black top is a pretty easy to kill hero, but in a moment, EG will show themselves bottom, and I'm not sure if Mouse are going to be able to defend this tower. They might try to, at least. Synderen is down in place. Level 2 Illuminate will come out. They do have cogs to back up as well, but They don't want to lose the tower, and they don't really want to rotate around so heavily. EG, though, Fear and Demon are going to rotate to tier 1 tower bottom, and they're looking to maybe catch out Black and Paz.
Looks like they might be able to. Bambo, though, leading the charge. Maybe they think Bambo's still alone. There is Fiend's Grip up on this Bane. This could be a really nice bait. They are going to go for Bambo, but Demon's actually really far away. Could just be a free kill, and it will be. Bambo, thinking his team is a little bit closer than they actually were, he gives up a kill. I thought they were just going to bait that, but
Yeah.
Fear and Demon were just nowhere to be found.
That was he next level baited his own team.
Yeah.
Stood a little bit too far out. He didn't want the creep wave to come to the tower because he feared that they would have been spotted, his own teammates. But in reality, yeah, they were walking back, and he should have walked back with them as well. So unfortunate for Bambo, he's actually going to be the first death of EG. And EG now looking to put some pressure on the mid tower. And this is really nice for Black, because that was a lot of wasted time. They wasted time rotating. They didn't do much onto the tier 1 tower bottom in terms of damage. And Mousesports can rotate easily to middle and Illuminate, still level 2, will be able to clear this wave. So Mousesports, through EG's mistakes, pretty comfortable just picking up the farm. EG, they look like they want to make something happen, because it feels like they should in the way they went to those tower and went for a gank, but nothing has come of it.
The thing that's weird to me is Demon made that rotation, and Fear was sitting in the top lane with Bambo, but Demon could have just been farming this whole time. We saw how scared that TA was and how Fata didn't really want any part of this middle lane at all. So why not just get Demon to blink? Why not play it a tiny bit safer? In another minute or two, you're going to be able to make that rotation, and with a blink dagger, Demon for sure would have been able to save Bambo there. Like, there's no question about it.
Well, they would have been able to pick up kills as well. With the blink dagger, yeah, and save Bambo, which I'm sure you also meant in terms of the kills. So he's at 1.5k gold, Demon, and his rotations haven't equated to anything other than lost time in terms of farming. He's on farming now at least a little bit. The Illuminate's that, and he's going to have to dodge. But yeah, get the blink dagger, make something happen. But it's going to be somewhat pretty late, I feel now. And Black on his Luna has picked up a bracer, going to maybe be finishing off his drums, and that makes him a lot more stable when it comes to these big team fights when the RP does hit.
Yeah.
And to think he could have been taking this fight before all this happened if he was just staying mid and getting some farm. I don't think they needed Bambo to take mid lane at all.
And they're going to be kicking themselves for that choice just because of how badly it actually delays their mid game and how potentially strong it could be. But Bambo, he's got the Glove of Haste up right now. He's making his way probably towards that armlet. And the story of the game for EG is still going to be Jo. Is how far Jo can actually get. Fata looks like his haste rune luck continues here as he manages to bottle one in that bottom lane. But it's 2-1, and you're looking at the net worth right now, and you're thinking to yourself, EG, they've got a pretty significant advantage. You see 3 heroes that are pretty close, and then TA, and then Bambo is sitting at about 1,000 below the next highest person. So this says to me, the next couple of fights especially are going to be insanely important.
Yeah. Sorry, top lane, I was just watching Fear. I was like, oh look, he's got an Illuminate as well as Fade Bolt. Isn't that convenient for clearing waves? Yeah, the next team fight is really which is going to set off the pace of this game. It feels like it's just, we're waiting for something to happen. People are just gearing up and looking for some of their key items. And you're right in terms of the mid game that EG could have been devastating if they got Demon much earlier, or at least a lot more farm to get that Blink Dagger. But he will be picking it up pretty soon. And that's going to be go time.
Well, go time could be a lot sooner, actually, than EG want it to be, as Mouse, they are really close right now. Quake's actually going to be running around. Beata's not going to get spotted. He is in that juke spot, but he has got it. His heart's got to be beating so fast right now. He's just like, oh God, please don't let this happen. But top lane in the meantime, the tier 1 gets denied by Bambo. Here come the rest of EG, and I can't believe Beata's is still alive right now. Just a random rocket, just something, please. He's just sitting here waiting to be killed.
Oh,
and Mouse,
oh,
Beata's actually walks out. He pops the Edict, but he does have a little bit of help coming from his team in the form of that Gyrocopter and Fear. The hookshot's going to be there. Beata's, he's actually just going to give away a kill for free. There was a steal right there, but I'm not sure what spell Ruby actually ended up getting. Yeah, it's going to be Rocket Barrage, and Telekinesis is going to be there. Rocket Barrage coming out from Jo. And there's going to be a skewer actually through the cogs. Demon on the other side. He does manage to get the kill, but in the meantime, there's a Roshan sneak coming out from Mouse. They abuse Templar Assassin's Refraction. They get a kill on Roshan. That is actually enormous for Mouse.
That's a huge sneak Roshan there, and he will actually now Fata pick up his Bling Dagger on top of it. So the mid game should have gone in EG's favor in terms of how the farm and the XP was going. They did deny the tier 1 tower top, but this tier 1 tower mid, they're going to have to glyph it. Demon's probably not going to be in position to come in. Bambo's just going to clear the wave with a nice infest, and they might be able to get the deny off it. Yeah, they're going to deny another tower. So 2 towers denied. EG have taken 2 towers away from Mouse in terms of gold. So nicely done by EG, but Mouse Sports, this game looks really close. Just off that Roshan, and also the nice pick they got on Beaters. Sure, they lost their Clockwork, but at the end of the day, the Clockwork was just looking for a good kill, some experience, some gold. It's not a big problem if you lose him after a fight, because you expect him to die in most fights. Or at least I do when I play Clockwork.
Yeah, he got a kill anyway, so it's like he dies, no big deal. But getting that Aegis, it gives Mouse an opening to actually take these fights before the Gyrocopter has a BKB. That's actually going to be huge because it means Eclipse is going to do full damage. We can see Jo, he actually opted to go for a Helm of the Dominator, so he's going to be doing some creep stacking. EG wants to go for their later game, but they're playing the 4 Protect 1 style, and I say Protect, but it's more like 4 people play really aggressive to buy room for the 1, and in the bottom lane we can see there's actually a Magnus in position for an RP as Demon. He's going to see 3 members right now of Mao's. But Black going to get caught out inside of his jungle. The Fiend's Grip stolen by Fear, and that's going to be a free kill coming out for EG. He actually steals a Lucent Beam right as Black was about to die. And Demon, in the meantime, gets picked off in that little juke spot in the woods. He was trying to find maybe an opening for this next fight, but Mouse, they do manage to spot him out.
Yeah, Mouse spotted him. Were you watching Top Fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mouse spotted him out, Qualifier spotted him, and then Fiend's Grip instantly came out from Paz, and they just took Demon down instantly. The one thing I wanted to say about Black and his Luna, just because of the amount of experience he got from that Roshan, he does actually have a level 2 Eclipse. So this could that is a big factor in terms of the team fights. If you look at the Gyrocopter, I think Gyrocopter and Jo is actual 10. He's going to be going to the Ancient stack, and surely now will get a level 2 on his cooldown. But they did have a nice opening if they were able to utilize that Luna in terms of how much damage he could have brought to the fight. But he got sent off the map, and he'll be back shortly as top tower, or Bambo actually opening with open wounds, looking to kind of bait something into happening. Not going to matter though.
This is a really tense situation for both teams. It's so close. Like, we still haven't seen that make or break fight for either team. The golden experience advantage is actually going in favor of Mao's now. Not by much. It's only 17 minutes in, so it's about 2,000 gold, looking at about 2,500 experience. Fata actually blinks in with another haste rune. How many haste runes is this guy going to get?
RP'd.
Yeah,
he didn't want to do it.
A Demon actually could have landed the RP there, but it was still chancy. You know, you see him go up to the high ground, you're like, maybe I could, maybe I could. And they didn't have vision, so maybe Demon just thought that he was going to be too far away. But Mouse, they're still looking to be in pretty good shape here. And Qualifier even, sitting at level 9. He's maxed out the battery assault. He's only got 1 point actually into Rocket. Here comes Demon though. He catches a double RP. He's going to get gripped after the skewer. Here comes Pop. He's looking for somebody. Looks like it's going to be Jo. The call down is there. Black. He gets the Eclipse off, but it's a little bit too late. Aegis is going to get popped. It's currently 2 kills in the favor of EG, and Demon actually just walks in casually, ends up dropping. Now Fata going to get stunned out again by the Split Earth, and the rest of EG are going to try to fall back. Can they chase? Fata looks like he can't make anything else happen. He did have the blink, but it would have been a really, really scary proposition.
If you're going to catch an RP, catch it on Black. That was the key to winning that fight. If they just threw out an RP and caught any 2 other heroes, and Black was able to get the whole damage out of his Eclipse, even if it was just on the Magnus, it has this knock-on effect. You knock down one, you move on to the second, and you keep going. So the fact that they caught Black and were able to take him out very quickly with the cooldown was huge.
That was an Aegis as well that Fata had, and he actually lost it during that exchange. So Mouse, they had an opportunity to make something happen, but I don't really feel like there was much impact for that Roshan. We talked about the Eclipse being pretty important, but Black without the BKB, he just kind of dies. You know, he got stuck right there, and there was nothing else that he could do after the RP originally came out. And the reaction coming out from Pos was a bit slow. Of course, this is US Eats, so the Fiend script was probably not in an ideal timing. And if he had just caught Demon before the skewer, it would have been fantastic, because then Black wouldn't have been stuck in AG's team.
Yeah, definitely. If he was able to do that, that could have changed the fight as well, because cooldown wouldn't have been in position. But here they are, EG, ready to strike, ready to look to take a fight and the advantage in this game if they're able to wipe Mouse off this tier 1 tower. Fata is currently all the way down in the bottom lane, and Qualifier is going to scout out his own woods, maybe looking to get some farm as well. and EG are going to rotate to tier 1 tower top. So still a very tense moment for both teams. Black desperately wants his BKB. He's going to be farming under his tier 1 tower. He might be getting dived here. Yeah, he is going to get dived, and his team's going to be a little bit too late to help him out, I feel.
Yeah, he's going to be dying here behind the guys at the tower. They're actually going to manage to get a 2-man RP, and the Infest is coming out as well. Looks like another kill. Going to be a 2 for 0, actually, on the side of EG, and they continue going onto the tier 1. By the way, this is going to be their first tier 1 of the game, if they manage to get this. So, if they get this tower, it's a really, really big win. They kill Black again.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, the tower... this one would have eventually gone down a little while ago, but the fact is, picking up Black, delaying his farm, taking him off the map, they have a game plan in terms of who they want to kill, and Black's, he's at the end of their barrel every single time.
It's incredibly painful to try to farm a BKB when all you do in team fights is die over and over again. And we can see Jay is actually working his way towards the BKBs. He's got the Ogre Club right now. He's sitting at the highest net worth, too. And he does have that Mythor Hammer up on the Courier, so he's actually pretty much going to have it. He actually just got enough money right now. And this is where it starts to get scary for Mouse. The Eclipse not going to have its full effect anymore on heroes like, of course, a Lifestealer with his Rage. You're not going to be able to focus down Jaya with the Eclipse anymore either.
And even if you kill the Magnus after he pops an RP, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know, I worry for Mouse right now. I feel like the Luna pick just hasn't done anything for them. Like, even with the Roshan sneak, it's like, yeah, that was kind of cool, but the one fight that you took afterwards, Black has to be so close to the fights that he's always going to get RP'd.
Yeah, and without that BKB, just Fear as well, in terms of the amount of damage and what he can steal, is huge. And Fear is so close to getting his Blink Dagger, and once he gets that, there's no safe team fight. If you have a Rubik with a Blink, and you've also got a Magnus with a Blink initiating Great, and you've got a Gyro of BKB, no team fight under your tower, under their tower is safe. And EG, you mentioned in the draft, they've got a lineup that wants to fight as 5. That's exactly what they're doing. They're finding the farm safely, and then you can see them grouping up as 5 and putting the pressure on. And TA kind of doesn't offer that much as a mid hero. That's why they removed the puck, EG. But TA can stand there, can do a couple of hits, but he's going to eat. His refraction's going to drop quickly. Is he going to be able to burst down a kill on the supports? Probably not. And it's looking grim here for Mousesports in game number 2. But looking great for EG, and look at this. Black just going to have to back away now.
Oh, man.
Demon smoked up, not going to chase, and they did see him. And Mousesports look like they want to make something happen.
Oh, Beat is... He's away from his team right now. There's a Lifestealer inside of this Demon Magnus, but both teams playing it incredibly cautious.
Mousesports could make something happen here if they get a good initiation with the Clockwork. Here it is.
They're going to go in. There's going to be the cogs coming out from Betas. They can't find the RP. They want to see it. Black staying on the back lines. Here comes Fata. He's the next one to go in. Jo actually quite low at the moment. Demon, he's going to find the 2-man RP, but Black is not going to be one of them. The Skewer is going to be there. Fata taking quite a bit of damage, but it looks like Mouse. They get the team fight they need. Bambo on the run. The Rage is going to be down. They turn around. They want to kill Fear, and they'll be able to do so incredibly fast. Fata's burst damage a little bit too much. Bambo, he's trying to juke in the woods. He gets spotted out. Here comes the Rage. The cogs interrupt the TP. It goes through the magic immunity. He's got the 14 charge wand. He goes for the armlet toggle, but it's not going to be enough. And Mouse, they get a 5-man wipe.
Unbelievable. I was like, okay, this actually could be amazing for Mousesports, because I don't think EG knew that the support rotation with the Clockwork was so close.
Yeah.
They thought, okay, must have been the Luna, he's run away, let's take their farm. And then all of a sudden we're like, okay, if this Clockwork gets an initiation and they get what they want and just pick off one kill, even if they hit an RP, if it's not on Black, his Eclipse did so much damage. And Fear actually stole the Eclipse. But the problem was they were running away, and then Fata on his Templar Assassin just melt. So they couldn't get any more damage. It was a painful fight to watch if you're an EG fan, because they should have never been in a situation where that fight should have gone down.
And Demon couldn't find his RP at all. Like, when Koikfa initiates like that, he puts down the cog. That isolates both teams from each other, basically. Yeah. So that is like the you shall not pass moment. And then Demon's like, well, I'm not going to find my RP pretty much no matter what. Black is sitting way by the tier 2. He waited for the RP to come in to use the Eclipse.
Yeah.
So that was perfect for Mouse.
Yeah, really impressed by Mouse in terms of taking advantage of the situation. But EG, not where they should have been. Not how they should have fought. And as we mentioned, that Clockwork played by Qualifier. If he's able to get a good initiation and cogs up, which he's actually leveling up pretty equally to his rocket flare, it's level 3, it's devastating. He's also got a force staff as well, so he's able just to throw it down, and we might see a similar appearance here. But it looks like Mousesports are quite happy to let that, well, let's not say happy, but quite content to let the tower go down and fight another day.
Well, there is still a TA trap inside of the Roshan pit, so a sentry actually going to be dropped by EG out of range. Mouse are going to know as soon as EG try to go in, even if they smoke. It doesn't matter. That's the one cool thing about TA. You don't necessarily need ward vision, and you have to drop a D-ward in the pit to D-ward in the pit. So as long as a trap remains there, they'll always know what's going on. And Fata, he gets himself a double damage, which is actually really important. Getting a DD when you rush a BKB like this, which is BKB is now finished, it just means that BKB, pop the DD, go to town, maybe kill Demon, maybe try to go for somebody like Beatas or even Jo, because Templar Assassin's physical damage output is ridiculous. And actually, they blink over the ward. I'm not entirely sure if EG know about this. They're pushing into the tier 1, and the Illuminate comes out as well.
I think it's a great option for Mousesports just to pick up Roshan.
Oh, hook shot. They're going to catch Beatas. Koikva gets the cogs up onto the high ground from Jo, and now he's isolated. Here comes the ultimate coming out from Demon. He's going to manage to catch him inside of the Roshan pit, but he ends up just dying. Bambo, he's going to get Fiend's Grip, and it's going to be a fantastic fight again for Mouse. Synderin, he's on a killing spree. Fear trying to run away. He uses the Force Staff. Here it comes. Fata gets the kill. I cannot even think of what EG are saying to themselves right now.
They're like, why are these guys standing here? Why are these guys doing Roshan? Where, like, how are they, like, because you've got Qualifier just hanging around the Ancients, able to get a really nice hook shot, isolate someone, get a kill. And then the teams, one of them got pushed up into the high ground, I believe, by the cogs and wasn't available to join the fight. And this is devastating for EG. This is 2 huge losses, and the BKBs that are now finished on Mousesports on the 2 most important heroes that they need them on, Fata and Black, were both used in that fight, but they were also both 10 seconds. And Bambo, you could see him, he was like, oh, I wish Roshan was a little bit lower in life, because under the RP you could have stole the Aegis, but not possible. So Mousesports have completely changed the momentum of this game based off those 2 team fights. And EG, they're on the defensive now. They have some stuff going for him in terms of, yes, they can fight well, but Jo, he's got some gold, sure, he's got that BKB and the Helmet of Dominator, but he needs a damage item. He desperately needs a damage item, but now that Mousesports have control of the map and have some confidence and have picked up some important items, Jo, yeah, if this fight goes down in EG way, this is a big tie-up for them, but Jo needs farm and it's going to be dangerous to get.
Well, looks like they want to try to go in, and at least they're protecting their Ancient stack, which if that gets taken, which I think it is, here comes Quake. Actually, hook shots the creep wave, so Fear going to be able to actually get out of there. For EG right now, this is incredibly bad. They just lost 2 towers, they lost a Roshan, and 2 fights in a row.
Yeah.
That is like loss, 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 loss all over the place. And when they were in such a fantastic position earlier.
They were. And now they're having to rely so heavily on Jo, even more so than they were before, because... But I can't see him getting farm right now. He's just... Where's he going to go? And Qualifier is such a fantastic pickup, the Force Staff on a Clockwork, and it's really nice just because, you know, we talked about 2 people being able to go Mechanism. Synderin's got the mech, which allows you Clockwork to get a Force Staff. Even if he initiates badly, he puts up cogs and he's gone.
Yeah.
It's so safe, and you can even you see him throwing out some of these great hook shots. So Mousesports, do they want to put down some pressure before Jo gets a big item? Already they're rotating bottom. This could be dangerous because EG are here. EG do have a smoke on Fear, and Fear did go for that Force Staff over the Blink Dagger. So a tough spot for EG. They need to win the next team fight because this could be their last game in the International West qualifiers, and it all could kick off here. But good vision from Mousesports already, throwing out some rocket flares, and EG backing off to their tier 2 tower. They're like, let's make this as in favor of us as possible. Going to smoke up. That was the smoke that Fear had. If they get the initiation they want, this could be huge, but they need to hit Black. They need to burst someone down, and it has to be black.
Oh, Qualifier, he's walking up. He's going to reveal Beatus. He wants to go for the hook shot. He throws out the rocket. Is he going to go for this? He actually forces forward, maybe a little bit too aggressive. He's going to isolate Beatus. Jo, he comes in from the back, but Qualifier is just going to be able to solo him. Jo, he gets Fiend's Grip from downtown. Here comes the RP coming out. It only hits black. They don't have any follow-up damage, and another disaster coming out from EG. Fear going to be able to escape Fata, but Bambo might not be so lucky. He's got the armlet. The Infest is down. He goes for the toggle. Here comes Qualifier. It looks like there's going to be the cogs. But Bambo, can he toggle it again? No, he cannot. Not off a cooldown, and he tried his best, but this is a catastrophe.
Qualifier has some sort of hidden senses.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in this guy's head, but he's a nightmare for EG. This clockwork and how he's been able to find people, initiate, pick off kills, it's the core of this team and how it has to fight, and he's done everything you could hope for of a clockwork. Pulling people out of smoke, getting the initiations over Roshan. I don't know if I can say MVP just because they've all been playing great, but he has been huge in the difference. And look at this, Tifri Tower gone down, Rax could be going down, EG on the last hopes.
Yeah, this is the back foot if there ever was one. Here comes the telekinesis, though.
Rapier, I want to say now.
Here comes Fata, goes right inside of the cogs, and good night, Fear. Going to be dropping instantly. Jo trying to do whatever damage he can, but Fata just so unbelievably strong right now. And this is looking to be maybe the end of EG, at least in terms of their run at the International. But I got to give all the credit in the world to Mouse, especially Qualifier. We didn't actually talk about it, but during that Roshan fight, before it even happened, those cogs pushing Jo up to the high ground
and getting a kill on Bidas.
Yeah, there was no way they could have won that fight from the get-go just because of that one play.
Yeah,
so, this guy, man, we talk about Van Score from Roxkiss being MVP. For Mouse, it's got to be Qualifier for this.
Yeah, it's just so phenomenal. Losing my words in terms of how to describe how important he is. It's been a long day of casting too. But I'm expecting Jo to just man the fuck up and get Rapier.
Yeah, he has to. This is absolutely the only choice he has left. But we're going to get a chance to watch Qualifier here in all his glory, being able to pick off Beatas in this spot. The TA trap was even there just to make the hook a little bit easier to land. But the Fiend's Grip from so far away coming out on a Jo. Demon, he's forced to go in. He gets the RP on black, but he's got the BKB pop. Bambo's damage just isn't enough. Fear manages to escape the mayhem, and Bambo, he gets chased down here. He's got nothing left. The RP is already down. Fear has already evacuated the fight, and Beatas is sitting in the graveyard along with Jo. So Mouse, they take team fight after team fight. They get 2 towers. They get Roshan. Everything for Mouse has gone right for them, even, of course, past like the 10-minute mark.
Yeah. EG need a pick, and they need a Roshan, and they need a Rapier. If they don't get this, Mouse Sports will walk over this game. It's just how it has. It's how it's going to roll out in terms of the items and the XP and the net worths now. You can see them all in front of you. Or at least the net worth, sorry.
Oh my god.
This Mouse Sports are looking to end. And rightfully so. Manta Style finished up on black. Fata has the end of his DD, so they are going to force out the fortification. And EG are going to come back and defend. If they can defend this, I'll be impressed. Not expecting it to happen. Tier 3 tower going down. Can EG hold on to the game? If they lose this, they're out of the International.
They need to go right now. This could be the end for EG. They have Infestation right now on Demon. They're trying to find some kind of an RP. Mouse just aren't giving him the opportunity. They're positioning themselves so well. Maybe they'll try to hook shot in again, abusing how Quake has been playing so well this game. And Roshan, he's going to be respawning soon, so maybe Mouse, maybe they want to play it ultra safe, back up, go for the Roshan, revoke the ability of Jo going for that Rapier. He's sitting at 2,000 gold. He's going to be able to buy that relic sometime soon if Mouse actually back up. But they're waiting for the bottom lane to push in. There are traps everywhere. No sentry down inside of EG's base, just an observer ward. And they're not being given the opportunity to actually make anything happen. And actually, Fear steals the Templar Assassin trap. So some of them are Fatas, some of them are Fears. The Glaives bouncing between both set of racks right now. Demon just can't find the perfect RP, and he needs it.
And look at JO's life. You're getting hit by Glaives and also the Illuminate coming in from Cinder. And he has to back off now. He has to go to WoW. So Mouse Sports have done enough just by controlling JO's farm, stopping him from getting up to that rapier. I'm sure they know when Roshan will be up, and it will be soon, just under 2 minutes. But if they can get the tier 3 racks,
oh, here comes Demon! He gets the double RP quick, but with the counter initiation, he manages to isolate Demon Bambo all on his own. The Fiend's Grip onto JO. Fatas trying to burst him down with that melt. JO doing what damage he can. The buybacks are coming out in force, and it's a stolen RP, or excuse me, not a stolen RP, but another RP, excuse me, coming out from the side of EG, and they're currently on full retreat. Demon, he finds the skewer, he catches Black, he's going to be able to get the kill. Now EG, they're fighting back, they're forcing Mouse out of their base, and I don't know if I was seeing things, but I thought I saw one RP, and I thought I saw another one, but he doesn't have a refresher, so I must just be, like, losing it.
Yeah. I'm not sure where you saw a second one.
I thought I saw somebody get stunned, and it just must be me being bad. I don't know.
Okay. That's why we have instant replays.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. EG did well there to be able to defend their racks. Their racks are up. Getting a kill on Black is important. They did have to have a buyback though on JO, which is going to set some of his gold back. But it allows them to know, at least going into the next fight over Roshan, they aren't just behind. And I'm expecting EG to actually try and do something a little bit sneaky even just before Roshan comes up. So Mouse Sports really have to have their wits about them. If Mouse Sports get caught out over the Roche or just before it, and EG get it, you could see a Rapier JO bring this game back.
Yeah.
But luckily for them, Fata, with that Desolator, is a big problem in terms of EG's side. The damage that he's able to deal is huge. So we'll see what will come out of this, but EG do still want to put on the pressure. And here we go. This is the something sneaky I wanted to see happen. And EG have smoked up, and they're looking to get a pick. If they get a pick, this could be their way back into the game. Roshan is up.
This is it right now. If they take this fight, they get a Rapier on JO. It could be a very quick mid-push, and maybe EG manages to take it to a game 3. So everything is on the line right here. They're actually smoking between the towers, but it actually gets revealed. The pings come out, and all of a sudden they decide, wait a minute, maybe this isn't the best idea. And Mouse are actually in position to go for Roshan, but they can't see anything inside of their own jungle, so they have no idea where EG actually are. They're trying to push out mid with that rocket spam. EG, they're looping around. They're trying to find Mouse, but no team can see each other right now. They might start walking into some traps, but
Demon blinks in and casts reverse polarity only to cancel it. Gonna skewer out. Hook shot actually used and wasted, but that's how blind they were, Draskell. You're right. They didn't know where each other were, and he actually just blinked into the pit in desperation of, like, if they're doing it, we can't afford to lose it, we have to go. This is how important this fight is. This is them, EG, playing for their tournament here. If they lose this game, it's going to be over.
Well, they need the RP. They absolutely have to have it. So it's going to come down to, can Qualifier find Demon? If he does, I honestly have to say the game might just be over right there. Because if he doesn't find the perfect RP, it's going to be GG. And Qualifier, still 20 seconds left on cooldown for that hook shot. The tower actually goes in favor of EG. And it looks like the tier 4 actually dies inside of the base. As EG, they're going to have to eventually fall back. They can't just let their tier 4s die.